Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today we're going to work on a large, pretty, bright colored arrangement for a get well soon. So I chose some really bright blooms and I thought we would put this together. This is an urn shaped vase. You can see it's just a traditional urn shaped vase. I have filled it with fresh water and a little bit of fresh flower food, and we're going to start with our greenery. Using my floral knife, I am going to cut that greenery at an angle and tuck that right down into that vase. And I am going to go all the way around . In this vase with some leather leaf. So leather leaf is also called baker's fern. So I put about, I guess probably six stems of leather into the container. Next we're going to come in with a little bit of seeded eucalyptus. So seeded eucalyptus has just come back on crop. So the seeds aren't as pretty as they usually are. They're just tiny. But I love that it kind of has a little dripping effect. So we're gonna add some of that. We're just tucking that throughout this arrangement. And we may come back at the end and tuck a little more in, just to finish it off. All right, so there's our seeded eucalyptus. Next, we're gonna come in with our lime flower. So the lime flower that I chose is blue delphinium, just pretty royal blue delphinium. Taking my floral knife, cutting that stem at an angle, and tucking that right down into that vase. And I'm going to just go all the way around. All right, there's 4 stems of blue delphinium. So they're just kind of all the way around in that vase. Next, we're going to come in with a little bit of rumex. Rumex is kind of a seed. It reminds you a lot of a millet. So I'm going to take it and cut my stems, and we're just going to kind of tuck that around. I like to use it as kind of a line. It has some line effect, and it kind of fills in. I guess it's really more of a filler, but I really like it. So I kind of went all the way around in that vase with that rumex. I love rumex. It makes me happy. I'm going to set my extra greenery over here to the side. And if I need it, I'll use it. I dropped a stem on the floor. Next, we will come in with our Solidago aster. Yellow Solidago aster. I like to leave it kind of long, kind of come up with that blue delphinium. Now the only thing about this urn vase is that mouth is a little narrow to me. So it's not as easy to make an arrangement flared out. It wants to kind of pull it up straight. Okay, there's our pretty Solidago aster. Next we're going to come in with, actually I have 2 sizes of sunflowers. So this one, they look just the same. This is supposed to be the medium size, and then this one is the large. Now they're not a whole lot different. I don't normally order the large sunflowers because I don't want them too big. They'll just take over an arrangement. So I don't necessarily love the large ones, but that's the only size they had. And so I went ahead and ordered them because I needed sunflowers. This time of the year, you really need sunflowers in the late summertime. So I took a couple of stems of sunflowers and tucked them on that side, and then I tucked one back here in the back. Next we have some beautiful lavender colored roses. They smell so pretty. I am not exactly sure the variety of these roses. They are really pretty. I removed some of the greenery off that stem, and then I am popping the guard petals off. I'm going to grab some wire. There's a few stems of wire. We're going to wire these stems. Now, I always like to wire my roses because it's just going to guarantee to keep those heavy heads upright. Pop off any petals that don't look pretty. You're not hurting your flower. Take your wire and press it into that little swollen part up underneath that rose and just twist it right around the stem. And I do that with every single standard rose. We wire all of our roses just because it guarantees those little heads, those heavy heads won't dip if in case they get too heavy. If in case the stem gets dehydrated, the flower gets dehydrated, that stem is going to get weak and that head is heavy. Okay, I'm going to take that stem, leaving it pretty long, cut it at an angle, and I'm going to tuck it up here in the top of our arrangement. Kind of up there by that delphinium. Take my next stem. Anytime you're cutting flowers, be sure to leave a lot of the stem on there. And you can always cut more. You just don't want to cut it too short. If you cut it too short, you can't add stem onto the flower, right? So you want to make sure that you leave enough length on those stems. Okay, there's our pretty purple roses. Next we're going to come in with these beautiful, lovely Lydia spray roses. It's just a really pretty hot pink. We're just going to tuck those throughout the arrangement. And you can see, using my Lazy Susan, I am just turning that arrangement and just adding those flowers all the way around. And to finish off our arrangement, we're going to add some Lisianthus. Now, Lisianthus is just a beautiful little dainty flower. They call it the poor man's rose. Honestly, it's so much prettier than a rose. Now, I do like a rose. I will not complain about a rose, but I do love Lisianthus. Lisianthus has lots of little buds. It's kind of interesting. Lisianthus blooms from the top down. So the first bud that came out is the first bud that will bloom. Kind of interesting. They're very long-lasting flowers, and they're real roughly, really a pretty bloom. Alrighty. To finish this flower arrangement, I'm going to add some ribbon because it's a get well soon, and I just think ribbon's kind of pretty and fun. Okay, I'm using this as the front of my arrangement because I added the 2 sunflowers. So there's our focal flower. The flowers that we used include the blue delphinium, yellow sunflowers. We used Rumex as some of our greenery and leather leaf, yellow solidago aster. These are pink Lydia spray roses, pink Lisianthus, and those beautiful purple roses. So pretty. So I decided that we would do kind of a neutral ribbon. This is just a faux burlap, and it has a little, I wouldn't call it ticking. It's almost like a little gingham check on it. So I'm going to grab some scissors. And what I'm going to do is, because this urn has a little tight neck right here, I'm going to take my ribbon and I am just going to tie it right around the neck of that vase right there. So I'm just tying a pretty bow. I'm going to cut that ribbon. And then we're going to just tie the bow right there to the ribbon that I tied around the neck of that vase. And I'm just using that ribbon to tie that. And then you're going to fluff up that pretty bow. And there is our finished arrangement. Guys, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions about how we do things here at Flowers by the Bunch, you can always ask. We would love to answer your questions. Do me a great big favor. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you have not subscribed to our channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you'll hit that bell, it'll give you notifications for when we have a brand new video. Thanks, guys. See you soon.